When we look at this, a lot of rest for Patrick Mahomes and some of the keys in this game. Didn't play Week 17, had the bye week. Does that concern any Chiefs fans, players, front office types that you might be a little rusty coming out in this game with a 2-week layoff?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are in a position where they're willing to trade any sense of rust that they might have for the rest that they needed. They had a lot of guys who were banged up after a long season, starting with Patrick Mahomes. He took a lot of hits late in the year, especially a couple of weeks before in that game against the New Orleans Saints. So they really need to rest up. They had a couple of key injuries, especially at the linebacker position. They were missing Anthony Hitchens. Ben Neiman, who's another starter, has a hamstring injury. Willie Gay is a promising rookie with an ankle. They were pressed to be putting in a defensive lineman to play linebacker in Week 17. That's how stressed they were at that spot. They also need to get rest for Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins. Both those guys, have been nursing some injuries of late. So the Chiefs are willing to really trade off that period of time where they've got really 2 weeks completely off. They're hoping to come back refreshed, and they really don't feel like that it's going to cost them that much. They feel like this offense can pick up right where it left off. It'll be interesting. They're certainly wanting to get off to a faster start than they did in last year's playoff games. But we'll see. I mean, you're right. I mean, certainly a couple of weeks away could disrupt the timing of that offense that completely depends on precision.
What about the health? Heard Andy Reid earlier in the week just saying it looks like everybody's getting healthy. Do they expect to be close to full strength for this one?
It certainly looks like it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who missed a couple of games with an ankle injury in the backfield, looks like he will be back. Just like I said, Tyreek Hill should be back to full strength. They're hoping Sammy Watkins will be as well, getting a couple of those guys back at the linebacker position and a couple of other just dings that they've had along the way. But that linebacker spot is really going to be the concern because Ben Neiman's a guy who's not a big name, but he's been a really key role player for the Chiefs down the stretch. And without him, and with Willie Gay likely out for this game, really leaves the Chiefs with just Anthony Hitchens and Damian Wilson as their linebackers. So it's going to be really difficult, I think, for the Chiefs to be able to play a lot of their traditional 4-3 fronts. You're going to see probably a lot of sub packages, and that probably plays in a little bit to what they want to do defensively against the Browns anyway. But it could certainly be a little bit of a problem in the ground game because if they don't have those guys in the middle of the field patrolling it, they're going to have to start depending on their safeties and playing a little bit more of Tyrann Mathieu and Dan Sorensen in the box.